Clothes and jewellery both represent an important part of a nation's heritage. Garments and accessories provide valuable clues as to where certain groups or tribes originated from, due to the many different ways they were worn. Clothing and jewellery are a vital aspect of a nation's identity and individuality. The national costume of a country can also be seen as an indication of a nation's development. Indeed, how civilized and developed a nation is can often be seen from the detailing and design of the clothes and jewellery.
The national costume of the countries of the Gulf reflects the desert environment of the region. It is loose and flowing and usually made of white fabric in a manner appropriate to the high temperatures characteristic of the weather in the Arabian Peninsula. It also contains the head cover, which is essential protection against the sun.
The Gulf region is also closely linked with sea life. This association is reflected in the dress of Gulf citizens, not only in terms of material, but also in terms of the design of the clothes and the intricate lines and shapes sewed on to catch the eye. No matter how detailed the designs are, however, they are still in complete harmony with the teachings of Islam.
Although Gulf societies were made up of both sea and desert communities, costumes were essentially the same as a result of common beliefs and the extreme heat both communities had to cope with.
بس عموما يعني إجماليا يعني هم قطعهم وثيابهم وانتقائهم في القطع نفس الشيء.
The fabrics used for Gulf clothing can make all the difference in terms of dealing with the high temperatures that are common for most of the year. Silk, whether natural or processed, plain or textured, is the most appreciated. Cotton comes second in preference, followed by wool, which is used only for certain clothes, especially the abaya.
Pink and violet are among the most favoured colours in the Gulf region, followed by all shades of blue, red and green. Black was used for headscarves and abayas. Plain coloured clothes with plenty of texture were usually saved for special occasions.
Our costume represents tradition and originality. Perhaps the international designers of today could pick up some ideas simply by looking at the traditional dress code of the Gulf area. I, as a Gulf Arab, prefer to stick to the traditional dress, or at least very close to it. If you attend a clothes show in the West, you'll probably be left with the impression that the designs are all Western in origin. However, if you look beyond the actual designs and into the embroidery and decorations that adorn the clothes, especially in terms of sewing jewels onto clothes and the use of different textures, you'll find that actually they contain a real hint of traditional Gulf designs.
ويعطيه شكل جدا مميز من وين ياهم هم الشغل اليدوي والزري ولا كلها ترجع للأزياء الخليجية القديمة.
Another thing that makes Gulf clothing so noticeable is the loose arms and the way embroidery and needlework cover the dresses from top to bottom. Generally, highly embroidered clothes were saved for special occasions.
Embroidery in the Gulf culture is called takhwir or khewar. The threads used are made of metal and are called zeri, an expression that means gold or golden. Yellow metal threads are called gold threads. Abrisam are threads made of silk, but lately colorful nylon threads have become popular due to their relative cheapness.
Workmanship was particularly fine. Citizens of the Emirates used certain methods in the making of their clothes that have been in use since the olden days. Elderly women used to make such clothing at home. However, the huge similarity in clothing between the different countries of the Gulf region is particularly remarkable. A loose fit with plenty of glitter. Such a look is highly desired by brides and was also the favourite choice of brides' mothers to receive guests in. Such dresses are also used in festivities and Eid holidays. Here are similar dresses with different colours and workmanship.
The importance of a material's sheerness, the matching of colours and the accuracy in sewing the pieces together with embroidery makes traditional clothes popular with all generations. They're unique and eye-catching in comparison to those of other cultures around the world. The most noticeable features of the female attire is in the special care given to the embroidery with zeri on the front of the costume, down the middle and on the seams. Men's clothes are generally simple and loose to make movement and work easier and to help out in hot weathers. They're white and do not contain much embroidery.
Bahrain, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Oman and Saudi Arabia all basically have the same dress, but with different names. In Bahrain they call it al-Neshel, and here it is Thob el-Kandura, while in the Emirates it's called al-Faher, and in Bahrain it's called al-Mayeza.
بس مسميات اما نوعيات الشغل ورقيه لا يتراوى متقاربه جدا يعني.
Up until 60 years ago, the agal was worn on certain occasions and was usually worn by sheikhs and businessmen. It had many names such as shatfa, khuzam, which is made of wool, the black argal, which is made of goat wool, and named mer'ez. The mer'ez is a bit thinner than other forms, double-folded, with a smaller diameter, and has 2 long tassels, as seen today in Qatar.
The hutra is made of a white material that is soft and light, very suitable for the heat of summer. The winter kinds are made of red and white material that is a bit thicker and called shmagh. The shmagh is most popular in Saudi Arabia, while the white hutra is seen the most in the United Arab Emirates.
Bisht is a Persian word that means the back. In Kuwait, the bisht is the equivalent of the abaya for men. They come in many shapes and forms and have different names, such as the wabar, marniya, shal, dorag, and mazwiya. Bisht can come in summer and winter forms. Summer ones are lighter and smoother and generally more expensive due to the longer time and more work it takes to make one. Winter bishts, however, are made of thicker threads and generally do not require such preciseness and accuracy in their making. The most important of the winter bishts is the burqa, usually in black and white, and the darbawiya, which is usually worn by the groom and is embellished with embroidery.
The different types of bisht require different ways of folding. The soft bisht, for example, requires extra care while folding so as not to cause a rip.
Jewelry is divided into main groups, and each has a number of subgroups depending on weight and shape. There is the head jewelry, which is divided into 8 types, the ear jewelry, grouping which itself has many other branches, neck jewelry, chest jewelry, nose jewelry, with only 3 branches, jewelry for the arm and wrist, jewelry for the torso, jewelry for feet, finger jewelry, and jewelry that is attached to clothes. Each type of jewelry has a proper function and should only be used at specific times.
The most popular gold jewelry is the Bahraini and Gulf gold, that is called the Murtahisha. This is a Gulf rather than an Indian innovation, as it descends in a series of squares and has the rashrash at the bottom. There are also types of jewelry called banjari, habhail, and shmeilat. These are all formations of jewelry designed in the Gulf and given Arab names.
يعني عندك شو اسمه شميلات كلمة خليجية مثلا.
There are also other types of Gulf jewelry, such as the mashmoom, worn on the head, while other types are worn head to toe, such as the sa'fa, the risha, the gubgub, and the hama. These terms are all specific to the Gulf region.
The Among the most popular accessories for women in the Gulf is the hayar, which is used to beautify the hair. The murtahish is made up of a chain of small circles worn around the neck with a width of about 15 centimeters and smaller chains dangling down on the chest.
The Maria is made up of small beads ending with a crescent. The Setmi is made up of many golden coins that are interconnected with two chains linking the necks to the middle of the body.
Similar to gold are the hajul, the jaras or the banjari. Some are made of brass while others are made with a small percentage of silver to give it that off look, augmented with larger stones that are green, yellow and red, usually used in bigger beads.
الأحجار الكبار اللي هي مثل الأحجار الأصفر والأخضر والحمر اللي مال المسابيح الكبار تكسر في هذه وفوق كله قيطان يستعملون.
In the top, gaitans are used rather than chains. The older Murtaisha stemmed from the Bedouin culture and were very popular in Yemen, in Oman, Syria and Morocco.
من عرضهم اليمن، عمان، سوريا، هذه المغرب، هاي كان متواجد فيها.
We took some designs from India and some from Africa. We took accessories, stones and copper from almost all countries. I personally used a Moroccan sfifa on an Emirati thobe.
The kef, or chef, is a large piece of gold with chains. It covers the palm of the hand and ends with rings for each finger. The zind is worn on the arm and is very thick. Aqd and tabla are used for the head and neck. The mijla and kilalib are used on the head to hold the khimar or the scarf above the ears.
The gubgub and the hilal are used for the head as well. There is also the mashmoom and the hama, which is a kind of gubgub. We also have something called the bisayil, which is very long, and the kutaybat, the necklace, the rashrash, the murtahish, and the mu'arra. These are all used for the chest area.
فهذه معظمها لمنطقة الصدر.
Bedouin women pay particular attention to finger rings. Thumb rings are called the jabira. Marami are used for index. Khanasir are used for middle fingers. Habisa are used for the little finger and a big ring used for the ring finger. As women use jewelry for their chests, they've also used them for their toes. Iftach is a wide ring of gold or silver used for toes.
The ikwish is a big lump of gold that women use to hang from their ears. If it felt too heavy, when a mijla was worn on their heads to ease the weight. A shfaf slipped down on the forehead, making hurt.
Of the different types of jewelry, there is also the hagab, a belt worn by women and is made of gold-plated silver.
There is also the dlal or della, worn by women. The khalakhil and lehjun are made of gold and silver to adorn the legs. There's also limtailat, and they are usually worn by younger girls. The shamara is made of gold or silver.
Jewelry and traditional costumes are a mirror reflecting the events and eras which the region has passed through.
The rich heritage that is represented by clothes and jewelry is ultimately a direct extension of the relationship between humans and their innermost desires.